Jonathan Bennett straightened his tie one last time before entering the imposing glass headquarters of Pinnacle Innovations. At 34, the weight of responsibility pressed heavily on his shoulders. Olivia waited. At home, likely drawing pictures of what her dad's new office might look like. "Mr. Bennett, the panel will see you now," announced the receptionist. Jonathan walked into a sleek conference room where 3 executives sat, with expressions as cold as the marble floors. Thomas Grayson, the head of human resources, barely looked up from his tablet. "Your resume indicates a 3-year employment gap," Grayson stated flatly. "Yes, sir. After my wife passed, I needed to be there for my daughter. I've been freelancing to make ends meet while being present for her." A woman at the end of the table, not previously introduced, looked up with sudden interest. "And your degree is from community college?" another interviewer asked with thinly veiled disdain. "Yes. I worked nights to pay for my education." The questions continued, each seemingly designed to highlight what Jonathan lacked rather than what he offered. "We typically hire candidates with more prestigious backgrounds," Grayson finally declared. "Thank you for your time, but we'll be pursuing other applicants." Jonathan's heart sank, but he maintained his composure. "I understand. Thank you for the opportunity." As he gathered his portfolio, he noticed the woman at the end watching him intently. She hadn't spoken during the interview, but something in her gaze suggested she was seeing beyond his resume. Outside, autumn leaves swirled around his feet as he walked toward the bus stop. His phone buzzed with a text from Mrs. Rodriguez, an elderly neighbor who watched Olivia after school. "Olivia can't wait to hear about your new job." Jonathan swallowed hard. Another disappointment to explain. Another promise he couldn't keep. He'd apply somewhere else tomorrow, somewhere that might see his worth beyond his credentials. Behind him, Victoria Winters, CEO of Pinnacle Innovations, watched from the lobby window as Jonathan walked away, his shoulders straight despite rejection. She tapped her assistant's number on her phone. "James, I need you to bring back the candidate who just left." Victoria Winters had built Pinnacle Innovations from the ground up, transforming it into a billion-dollar enterprise through instinct and insight. Today, that instinct was screaming at her. "It's Winters. With all due respect, we've established hiring protocols." Thomas Grayson protested as Victoria strode toward the elevator. "Protocols that nearly let exceptional talent walk out our door," she replied coolly. Outside, Jonathan had just reached the bus stop when a sleek black car pulled alongside the curb. The window lowered to reveal an elegant woman with intelligent eyes. "Mr. Bennett, I wonder if we might continue our conversation." Jonathan recognized her from the interview panel. "I believe the decision was clear. That decision wasn't mine." She replied, "I'm Victoria Winters, CEO of Pinnacle." Jonathan's eyes widened. "The panel chairman didn't introduce you. Sometimes observe interviews anonymously. May I offer you a ride?" Hesitantly, Jonathan entered the car. Victoria didn't waste time. "You have something rare, Mr. Bennett? When you spoke about balancing freelance work while raising your daughter, I heard determination, not excuses." "I appreciate that, but your hiring team works for me," Victoria interjected. "And I'm interested in character as much as credentials. Tell me, what were you hoping to accomplish at Pinnacle?" Jonathan considered his words carefully. "Your sustainable technology division is revolutionizing affordable housing. I wanted to contribute to projects that help families like mine access better living conditions." Victoria smiled. "Not advancement or prestige? Those would be welcome, but secondary. I need stability for Olivia, and I want her to see that meaningful work matters." The car stopped at a small park. Victoria gestured toward a bench position. "They interviewed you for isn't right for you," she said. Jonathan's heart sank again. "Because I have something better in mind. I need someone to lead our community impact initiative, someone who understands the real challenges families face." Jonathan stared at her, speechless. "The salary is double what you interviewed for, with flexible hours for school pickups and emergencies." "Why me?" Jonathan finally managed. Victoria's expression softened, because Pinnacle needs people who bring different perspectives. "Excellence isn't just found in elite institutions, Mr. Bennett. For the first time that day, Jonathan felt hope rising. When would you like me to start? The morning sunlight streamed through the windows of Jonathan's new office on the 32nd floor of Pinnacle Tower. His desk faced the city skyline. But his favorite view was the framed drawing Olivia had made. Daddy's new job scrawled in purple crayon. The team is assembled in Conference Room C, announced Rebecca, his department assistant. Walking into the meeting, Jonathan felt the weight of skeptical gazes. News of his unconventional hiring had spread quickly. I understand some of you have questions about my qualifications, Jonathan began, addressing the elephant in the room. I welcome them. But first, let me share my vision for Pinnacle's Community Impact Program. Over the next hour, Jonathan outlined plans that merged business innovation with genuine community needs. By the meeting's end, even his most doubtful colleagues were leaning forward with interest. This approach could revolutionize our public image, noted Patrick Donovan, marketing director who had initially been most resistant. Later that afternoon, Victoria stopped by his office. I hear your meeting was a success. Word travels fast, Jonathan replied. Excellence always does. Victoria smiled. How's Olivia adjusting to your new schedule? She's thrilled about the school science fair this weekend. It's the first year I won't need to miss it. Victoria leaned against the doorframe. The science fair. What's her project? Sustainable urban gardens. She's quite passionate about it. Something softened in Victoria's expression. My father was a botanist. I grew up surrounded by experimental greenhouses. You should see her design. It's surprisingly sophisticated for a 7-year-old. Victoria hesitated, then spoke. Would it be inappropriate if I attended? Pinnacle could sponsor the fair next year. It would be good research. Jonathan recognized the professional pretext for what it was: genuine interest. Olivia would be delighted to explain her project to you. Over the following weeks, Jonathan's initiative gained momentum. His perspective, shaped by real struggles, brought authenticity to Pinnacle's community programs. Projects that had once been corporate obligations became meaningful engagements. One evening, as Jonathan worked late, Victoria brought coffee to his office. You've exceeded every expectation, she said. Thank you for the chance to prove myself. Victoria paused. Think I should be thanking you, Jonathan? You've reminded me why I started this company in the first place. Victoria arrived at Westwood Elementary, clutching a small gift bag. The school gymnasium buzzed with the energy of proud parents and excited children standing beside their science projects. Ms. Winters. Olivia's voice rang out as she spotted Victoria near the entrance. The little girl bounded forward, her dark curls bouncing with each step. Hello, Olivia. Victoria smiled, immediately charmed by the child's enthusiasm. I brought something for your project. Inside the bag was a rare succulent from Victoria's personal greenhouse. This is a desert plant that conserves water, I thought. It might complement your urban garden design. Olivia's eyes widened. It's perfect. Dad, look what Ms. Winters brought. Jonathan appeared, looking more relaxed than Victoria had ever seen him at the office. In jeans and a casual button-down, he seemed younger. The weight of single parenthood momentarily lifted. That's incredibly thoughtful, he said. Olivia hasn't stopped talking about your visit all week. As Olivia led them to her project, Victoria noticed the tender way Jonathan encouraged his daughter, his patience never wavering as Olivia explained her design to the judges. You've raised an extraordinary child, Victoria whispered. She makes it easy, Jonathan replied. She has her mother's brilliance and determination. After Olivia won honorable mention, Jonathan suggested celebrating with ice cream. To her own surprise, Victoria agreed, at the small ice cream parlor. Olivia peppered Victoria with questions about running a company and growing up with a botanist father. Victoria found herself sharing stories she hadn't recalled in years. Dad says you're the smartest person he knows, Olivia announced between bites of chocolate chip. Jonathan nearly choked on his cone. I said Ms. Winters is brilliant at business, sweet pea. Victoria laughed, genuinely amused by his embarrassment. Your dad is pretty smart himself. But he gets lonely sometimes, Olivia continued with a child's directness. Don't you, Dad, Olivia? Jonathan warned gently. It's okay, Victoria said. Loneliness can find us, even in crowded rooms. I understand that well. Their eyes met over Olivia's head, a moment of recognition passing between them. The following weekend, Victoria invited them to the botanical gardens. Then came a community baseball game, a museum exhibition. Each outing felt less like a CEO's obligation and more like something Victoria looked forward to all week. One evening, after Olivia had fallen asleep during a movie at Jonathan's apartment, Victoria helped him tuck her in. She trusts you, Jonathan said softly, as they stood in the doorway watching Olivia sleep. I never thought I'd have this, Victoria admitted. A child's trust feels more valuable than any business accomplishment. 6 months after that fateful interview, Jonathan's Community Impact Initiative had become Pinnacle's most celebrated program. His team had secured housing improvements for over 300 families, with plans to expand nationwide. On a crisp spring evening, Victoria invited Jonathan to the rooftop garden of Pinnacle Tower. String lights twinkled above tables set with fine china. Da-da-da. But they were the only guests. What's the occasion? Jonathan asked, taking in the elegant setting. Our board approved your proposal today, Victoria said, pouring champagne. Full funding, exactly as you requested. Victoria, that's incredible. We can help thousands more families now, she smiled, watching him process the news. There's something else I wanted to discuss. Jonathan noticed a shift in her demeanor, vulnerability rarely seen in the confident CEO. These past months working together, spending time with you and Olivia, ... Victoria began, then paused. I've never been very good at personal relationships. Business decisions are simpler. Jonathan reached across the table, gently taking her hand. Some risks are worth taking, like hiring a man with a community college degree and a 3-year employment gap, she teased. Like falling in love with your boss, he countered softly. Victoria's breath caught. Is that what's happening here? I think it happened months ago when you called me back that day. You really saw me when no one else did. And you saw beyond the wealth and power to the woman who hadn't realized how lonely she was, Victoria admitted. Olivia, too. She's become so important to me. She adores you. Yesterday, she asked if you could come to Career Day as her bonus. Mom. Victoria's eyes glistened. I'd be honored. Jonathan moved to her side of the table, kneeling beside her chair. I don't have wealth or status to offer you, but I promise to love you completely, to cherish every day we have together. Those are the only things money can't buy, Victoria whispered, leaning down to kiss him. And they're all I've ever truly wanted. Later that evening, they picked up Olivia from her babysitter, and Victoria realized she was exactly where she belonged, not in a boardroom or executive suite, but with this small, perfect family that had found her when she wasn't looking. What had begun as professional recognition had blossomed into something neither expected. A second chance at happiness. Proof that sometimes the most promising futures emerge from moments of rejection and disappointment. As Olivia sleepily took both their hands, Victoria understood that her greatest achievement wouldn't be measured in profits or buildings, but in the love that had found its way into her one solitary heart.